morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Battle Bunker. It's been a minute since I was last out here. I've been really busy over the last month, but I've got another tournament coming up. I played one last month, and unfortunately, I lost two and won one again. It was with the same list that I had been running in the previous tournaments, and there's just something, I'm not quite sure, there was something that I wasn't quite feeling with it, so I've made a few changes. But to very quickly recap the last tournament, round one I played David with his orcs. I had issues just getting on a primary and getting a foothold. It was Terraform, and I got second turn. David got out there straight away onto the primary objective, started terraforming it. I couldn't stop them all, and he ran away with it, 100 to 40. The next game was yet another rematch. Hi Beth, 2-1 now. So played Beth with her Death Guard again. It was taken hold. I will state for the record right now, I hate Death Guard Terminators. With a vengeance, I hate them. Again, second turn, Beth got out there. She got these Terminators onto the primary midfield, and try as I could not shift them. I had an army that was built around shuriken cannons, strength 6, AP minus 1, 2 damage. They're pretty effective at removing stuff, unless it's a toughness 7 Terminator. Honestly, the number of 3+ armor saves that Beth made, I just couldn't. I just put everything into her. I did make a couple of mistakes. I say I made a couple of mistakes. I made the same mistake twice. You do not send a unit of Harlequin troops in front of a Death Guard Terminators with all the flamery stuff, and forget to turn off Overwatch. Yeah, did it twice. 2 units gone. Boom, boom. 2 turns. Exactly the same mistake. Yeah. So, it was a reasonably close game, though, as they are with myself and Beth, and they're always really fun games. But Beth took that one 86-65. The round 3 was it was against Tristan, my son, who I talk about quite often, with his Chaos Space Marines. It was his very first tournament. He'd already lost 2 games. He'd already lost to Spirit Conclave, Eldar, and to it was a Space Marine army. I think it was Salamanders or somebody like that. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But on the way over, myself, Jason, and Paul had been talking to him, offering him advice on how to play. We've been trying to instill into him screening and this chaos wall. Well, he did literally that. The mission was Scorched Earth on Crucible of Battle, and he literally had a wall of cultists which he deployed on his deployment line. Yeah, the full width of the board. And we'd also talked to him about being more aggressive. Oh boy, did he throw me a curveball! Other than the 1,000-point game we played a while back, I've beaten Tristan every single time we played, and I've always had the upper hand in the game. I struggle in any game where I go second. I don't know what it is. I've got to, you look at the statistics. 66% of the games that I go first, I win. 33% of the games that I go second, I win. Yet again, I'm bang on statistics. I went second in all 3 of these games. So Tristan, he plays the Renegade Raiders Chaos Space Marine Army, and he plays it under the Night Lords colours. He got first turn. He advanced everything straight at me, so I've just got this wall of cultists come straight out into the mid-board, and I had to go over them, go through them, and he actually, for the first 2 turns, had me worried because I couldn't get a foothold in the game until I cleared this screen out. As soon as I cleared the screen out, everything else fell over relatively easily. I charged, I think it was a unit of Harlequins. I managed to get into his what are they called, the kill team, unit for Night Lords. I managed to get a unit of Harlequins into them with the Solitaire, and what was it? Those 7 models took down the 10 Nemesis Claws. Yeah, took down 10 Nemesis Claws and a Master of Execution, and just left the Lord that he got to mop up the next round. So so I won that one 67-53. It's probably the closest game me and Tristan have ever had, and he played really well. So that was that tournament. This one, that was about I think it was 16 players in that tournament. As the local RTT. This weekend I've got a slightly bigger RTT, or this coming weekend, next Sunday, I've got slightly bigger RTT as 40 players, and it's back where my tournament journey began. So it's back over at the East Anglian Grand Tournament in Norwich. It's not the full year on. This is a mid-year one, but should be a good game. So the changes I've made a few changes to my list ready for this one. I'm still keeping the Death Jester as my warlord. In fact, all my characters are the same: Death Jester, Shadow Seer, Solitaire, and 3 Troop Masters. One of the Troop Masters has Kegorak's Coil. The Shadow Seer has the Mistweave. So if I want to infiltrate his unit, then by all means I can do that. And the Death Jester has Murder's Jest, just to mop up anything that may be needed. And then I've got 4 units of Harlequin troops. 3 units have 2 fusion pistols, 2 blades, and 2 special weapons. And the other unit is all special weapons. And the 3 units that have got those fusion pistols have also got power swords on the lead players. So that's my battle line. 4 units, standard 5-man units of those. 3 transports for the 3 units that are going to be with the fusion pistols and the other bits. They are going to have troop masters attached to them. The other unit, there's just the 5 special weapons. They are going to be with the Shadow Seer, and I've got a Falcon to run them around, or because it's not a dedicated transport, I'll just run the Falcon round on its own. So there's 3 Star Weavers in the Falcon. The Falcon has a Bright Lance, the Pulse Laser, and Shuriken Cannon. Then I've decided that for some reason Fire Dragons and Howling Banshees just weren't doing it for me. they're really, really effective the first time out. You put them on the board. If you can't get them out of the way, they do that. They kill something and they die. So what I've done, especially with the points changes that the Eldar managed to pick up, is I've put 2 fire prisms back in. Got rid of the shining spears. Got rid of the fire dragons. Got rid of the howling banshees. Got rid of the wave serpent and one of the void weavers as well. The void weavers on paper should do more. You know, they are relatively effective when it comes to tank hunting, but they just, I don't know, they just don't, whether it's the way I play them or not, they just don't seem to do what they should on paper. It was really disappointing. So that left me losing one of the void weavers, the fire dragons, the howling banshees, and the wave serpent. Gave me enough points to put in 2 fire prisms, a unit of shining spears. I want them to be good. You know, they're a mounted unit. They work like infantry, so they can ignore the terrain. They don't need to worry about going up and over things. They can ignore the terrain, so they should be good. And then with the anti-infantry, the anti-tank and the anti-monster 3+, you know, I want them to be good. But worst case scenario, they're there to help screen, to help move block, to score secondaries. So, you know, they have the Exarch does have the shuriken cannon and the laser lance. Sorry, not the laser lance, the star lance. So hopefully we can do something with them and we can make them pay off a little bit better than the fire dragons have been. Then I've still got my unit of 2 sky weavers with the zephyr glaives. Again, you know, the haywire cannons, you know, much like the void weaver, the haywire cannons, you know, they do some damage to tanks. They don't really have enough to take out much more than the rhino on their own, but there's nothing in the Harlequin army that does something on its own. It's all death by 1,000 cuts. It's all the synergies of working together. So, you know, whilst your Harlequins are in melee with your devastating wounds against a knight, you know, you've got your bikes, you've got your void weavers chipping away at the side of them, doing damage with the haywire weapons. You know, so hopefully, and yet again, they're fast enough to be able to move block. They're fast enough to be able to score me secondaries if I need it. Then I've got the void weaver. Again, this falls into the same sort of category as move blocking, secondary scoring. You know, and it's very anti-vehicle in what it does. Like I say, I want them to be better than they are on paper. Maybe it's just the way I'm using them. You know, I have tried them with both the prismatic cannon and the haywire cannon. The prismatic cannon doesn't seem to do the damage that the haywires do. Certainly doesn't do it as easily because of the devastating wounds on the haywires. So I'll report back and let you know how they go. Then I've got a Viper with a Bright Lance. Again, he's there. He's move blocking, he's scoring secondaries, and he's hunting tanks with that Bright Lance. But in collaboration with everything else in the army, he can't just do it on his own. And then finally, just because I had 45 points left over, and why not? Because again, he's fast. He helps get to where I need to be for the little secondary stuff. I've got a Warlock Skyrunner, just the one on a jet bike. Just the one Warlock on a jet bike, and actually to proxy this model, I've got an old metal Harlequin jet bike, just so he fits in with the whole theme of the army. So he runs around as my warlock, as my proxy in for my warlock. So that's what I'm going to be running this weekend. I will report back as soon as I can on how it goes. I've got a plan on how I want to use it, but as a good friend of mine and mentor Toby quite nicely points out, everybody has a plan until you're punched in the face. So we'll see how it goes. If nothing else, I'm just going to enjoy it. Enjoy playing the bigger RTT again. Unfortunately, this time there's only myself and Jay flying the colours for the West Norfolk Rollers. We've got, but we will go out and we'll represent, and we'll do the best we can, and we'll have fun while we're doing it. But until then, enjoy the sunshine. I hope it's not too hot for everybody, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. See you later, and may the dice forever roll in your favour. See you later, guys.